Hello everyone, my name is Tesire and I am originally from Rwanda. I am married here in Germany, live here and work here. Yeah, so this channel, is about traveling, but I'm going to link traveling and inner peace or therapy in less than 5 minutes. Okay, today we're talking about inner peace. A lot of people, especially back in the days when I was living in Africa, I believed, also the people around me made me believe that the inner peace is when you cut off everyone in your life who is bringing the worst out of you, or anyone who actually seem not to care about you. There will be situations many people face, then you realize that you're on your own even when you're around people. And I believed, also a lot of people believe, that creating the inner peace is dealing with your own issues without involving anyone. Okay, and I disagree. I believe this, so it kind of would have worked for me, but I think that is what actually got me in trouble. If you ever suffered depression, or you have someone who's suffered depression, if you ask them before it got worse, what was the first step? What did you do wrong? Or what did you do before you actually it worsened? Yeah, you realize the most of the people have cut off everyone and they started isolating. The most people don't understand why people isolate is because you feel like no one really understands you. And in fact, the most of us have talked to people trying to actually find a reason to leave or to stay motivated, and people decided to discuss us. And when you get to hear what people have talked about you without even having to understand what actually you were trying to explain, you feel disappointed and you want to cut off people. Yeah, and then you do what they call inner peace by cutting up everyone. Because if you keep them, you feel like they're just here to take every situation you are living and spread it to the people who like you and those who don't like you. But there's something I've learned. The older I get, there are things I get right. I realized now that there are people who discuss you because they love you so much, but the situation you are in, they have no clue how to deal with you or how to help you. So in this case, they may end up discussing you with people with experience or people who are more mature to actually advise them how to deal with you. But of course, there are a lot of them who actually discuss you because actually to them it's funny, or it's in a way like they're like, I can't believe that she would be going through that. I can't believe that happened to her. Like, when they are with you, you can even talk hours and hours on phone or physically, and their face or their reactions makes you feel like they actually understand you, but they don't. They're just actually listening because they want more information, actually more something to talk about. And this is really disappointing, which pushes a lot of people into the corner of isolation, where most of the people believe that they are actually creating their inner peace of doing everything on their own, not having to involve families or friends or neighbors or whatever, and having it all on their own. But to be honest, that's really tough. That situation you just created in thinking that would result to that inner peace, which is actually positive. You are looking for positivity. That is actually going to push you in a negative side where you actually feel like you don't even care about anything anymore. Like nothing interests you. Like you give up. You deal with your situation on your own to the level that you feel like the whole brain is numb, the body is numb. Like you don't care about anything. That is when you actually fall into that depression. The most of people start creating this inner peace of isolation or whatever when they are dealing with anxieties, but when it kicks, anxieties push you to become isolated, then that one pushes you into deeper depression. And a few people actually survive. When you're already gone, especially in depression, speaking from experience, it's too dark. You don't make it alive. You just lose interest in a lot of things, in actually everything. You don't even love yourself anymore. Like, interest, nothing like give you a reason to wake up in the morning and feel like, okay, today I am going to do something good. The only thing is maybe you may end up eating a lot or drinking a lot, like, or not drinking at all or not eating at all. Like, you have one of the two, either eating too much or eating so less or drinking too much, something like unusual, and it's hard to get back. So today I try to help a lot of people who are going through a lot by giving you some of the top secrets for me that have worked for me in so many ways. Not even when I am in depression, but even when I'm confused, or even when I feel like I'm losing interest in something, or I'm not happy. Doesn't mean that when you're unhappy you're actually depressed or you have anxiety. We are humans, we get unhappy, things be a lot of situations, we lose people, we get complicated lives with the people around us, and then you lose interest and you feel like you need something positive. And I found something positive as a traveling. Yes, traveling is therapy. It is a therapy and it works. Let me talk about this. If I start talking about traveling, I will not finish, and I promise to be 5 minutes or less than 5 minutes. Traveling is a therapy, and the secret is that you do not have to travel to someone's country alone. Even traveling your own country, discovering your own country, can also fix you, can bring some hopes and some joy, some ideas. I love traveling, that if I start talking about traveling, I'm not going to stop. I love traveling to remind people that you don't have to be so rich before you can travel. Yes, you may think you need transportation. Yes, you need transportation, but you don't need so much savings, loans, whatever, to be able to travel. Even going to that forest around your area and hike it, or visit around the villages in your city, try to understand your own city, your own country. It is traveling, and it will fix you. You don't have to go on plane and jump you're going to Kenya, or jump you're going to Europe, or jump you're going to Rwanda to be able to be fixed. Traveling is a movement. It's to move. It's not about how long the journey is. It's about to get out of that house, get out of that couch, get out of that bar, go somewhere, go and face the nature. I have done traveling a lot. Before traveling East Africa, I was not traveling. I had not this secret. In fact, before I went to Uganda, it was because I had already lost interest in a lot of things, and I was trying to find myself. I was trying to find my way back to something, hoping for something. And yes, I remember I went to Uganda. It was a long journey, but I'm not going to talk about this now. But then after traveling to Kenya, visiting Tanzania, visiting Uganda, and then Burundi, and then I got this interest in visiting my own country. So I remember, but I wasn't able to do it because of the situation, the kind of life I was living, and I had to be committed to such responsibilities. So I couldn't. But I had that dream. At least I had that hope. I had this, like, I want to visit my country. I want to go around my country, and this kept me also alive. I can say so. Before I started coming to Europe, I first visited East African countries. And if you know my story, I have been in East Africa by bicycle, which means I cycled across 5 countries of East Africa on my bike, and so many things. But then I also visited without cycling. I've been in Kenya without cycling, but I already been in Kenya with cycling. I've been in Tanzania, I've been in Burundi, Uganda. I lived in Uganda also for 5 years or 7. I have to do calculation, but yeah, I speak the language of Uganda. So yeah, but when I was cycling, when I was visiting East Africa, it gave me hopes and a wish, a checklist of other places I want to visit, and that included my own country that I had never visited, because I was born in Kigali and raised in Kigali, but I went to school out of the city. But that was not enough to actually understand the country. And then I was able to actually fulfill my wish in 2018. That's when I left Ghana and went back to my country, and I did the tour of Rwanda by car, of course, by then with my ex, and it was interesting, and I loved this, and it created these wishes of actually wanting to know more. I got to know my country better. I had already visited Europe. I could have things to compare, countryside, comparing the countryside in Europe, all these kind of things, So yeah, I realized that not only that traveling fixes us, but also it makes us, through traveling, I am able to know things that I would have studied in school, but of course I didn't have the opportunity to study. When I first came in Europe, of course I met a lot of cultural shocks, weather facts, interesting facts, and diversity, interesting facts, and a lot of things, and it made me want to live more, so that I can see more, so that I can discover more. For me, I keep saying this is I discovered on behalf of myself, because someone else, like I say, someone else has discovered it, but that wasn't me. Now it's me who actually discovering something that is actually building me, making me, and I am smarter than I could have been if I never traveled. They say traveling is a book, and if you never traveled, you only read one page, but I don't think it's even a complete page, because this traveling is very interesting, and you don't have to go anywhere else. You can start in your neighborhood. Do you know that through walking my dog alone, that I get to feel like this is also part of traveling? I'm able to go around my neighborhood and actually get to understand, something I will not understand if I stay in the house. And this is really important, and it heals. And sometimes when I'm in a bad mood and I go out and I have this walk, it's a 30 minutes walk with my dog, it fixes me. If I am maybe upset with something and I step out and I come back and I'm fixed, why don't you leave that bed? Why don't you leave that couch? Why don't you leave that city and visit around your country? If you have visited your country, or you feel like it's not enough to actually boost your interest, then come to Europe. Come and visit Europe. And don't tell me it's impossible, because we have a lot of possibilities of making it happen. But of course, to have to come to Europe, there are a lot of things that are involved. If you're from Africa, you need visas, and of course, it's not for free. And to get visas, of course, you need some money that the embassy can trust that when you come, you're able to take care of yourself. And on the top of that, you also need a flight ticket. And yes, you cannot just come, you need a purpose. And I have a purpose for you. The purpose is that you can come and join us in our cycling tour. We have this cycling tour every year. It's called the Global Biking Initiative. We cycle across Europe. Yeah, we cycle across Europe because this organization does not only have one event. It has, like, this May we have an event in France, and in the end of June, early June, end of May, and early June, I have to check I will leave the link there so you can see the website and you can register or visit the website and see if you find information that you need. So around June, May to June, we are going to cycle also from Venice in Italy to finish in Austria. And these are trips these are purposes enough. These are enough purposes to get your visa if you have other requirements, so you can come and join us. And there is something else. I realized that works for me. Cycling. It helps me a lot. I have traveled by car, I have traveled by plane, I have traveled by feet. Feet, I get tired because I really have short legs. I don't like walking a lot. But cycling, it fixes me even better. Yeah. So I will leave the link about this cycling organization. We cycle for charity. You can find more information on the website. You can register for this 2025. We have a lot of events. You can choose if you want to go South Africa. You've never been in South Africa. If you want to come here in Europe, you can register for wherever that takes you. And yes, the organization will give you an invitation, which is also proof of a purpose of why you're coming. And then you can use it to apply for visa. And of course, they do not help you with application. You should know much. You should visit your embassy and ask them the requirements. There is a website for your embassy, and based on which trip that you have chosen, and this can also help you to, register and do the right things and have the right requirement and come. I'm so sorry, I'm exhausted. I worked a night shift and I'm actually dozing off, and I had to do this because I felt like when I was in the bus coming, I looked through the window and I just see, why don't I get tired of my work? It's because I use the bus every day and it's like 45 minutes or 1 hour, and then I realized I'm always like observing things through the window. And this for me, I'm going to work, but it's also part of traveling because I'm making movement, I'm moving, and I like to keep moving. So yeah, the other secret that I have, which is for believers, not for non-believers, when I have less peace in my heart and I know it's not the right time to travel, I'm not going to have the time to travel based on my kind of responsibilities or my financial status, I pray. When I have less peace in my heart, when I'm drowning, when I'm scared, when my heart is racing, when I am not able to sleep, when I'm thinking too much, when I'm sad, I pray. Even everyone around me behaves according to my prayer. I have done it when I was confused. I was done it when I had misunderstandings that I couldn't even have the opportunity to explain. I have prayed the little prayer. God bring peace. God give me peace. God, I need peace. God give me this. And it worked. So pray. If you can't travel, pray. You have that inner peace. But if you can do both or do one, it is your choice. But they work. They work for me. And I'm one of the complicated people. If they can work for me, so can they work for you. I'm sorry, I'm so sleepy right now. The whole night I have been awake. And I'm so tired now. If you don't know, I work at Amazon and you can ask me a lot of questions. Again, I will come and answer. Have a lovely day and keep moving. You keep moving. Get out of, some people say get a dog. Yes, my dog is my therapist, but I don't talk about him so much as my therapist because when he gets sick, I get sick in my heart. I have no peace when my dog is sick, so I don't think my dog is my therapist anymore. I feel like he's my baby boy, and when he's sick, I am totally moody. Even traveling, I don't think I can travel, but I can pray. Then he gets better. So see you next. A gift from my friend, and thank you so much, Patrick, for understanding me. And thank you so much. This means so much. I got a gift from my friend Patrick from Slovakia, and he got me this travel diary, which means I can write everything, post pictures inside, write recommendations, favorite restaurants, and everything. I'm so exhausted. I will have to redo this. If you guys don't like it, or if you ask questions, I will come and answer on a day that I am stable. Because right now I'm so sleepy, I am tired, but I love you guys. Bye. Oh, I am so tired. I can now sleep here right now.